I'm now live. What's up, YouTube? How you doing? It's your boy Tenzin, 1/3 of the SOS. Hold on, man. I'm still trying to get this awkward positioning with the microphone and my laptop because I'm using like one of those tray kind of tables. Oh, there's B. Cool. All right, I don't got to do this solo no more. Hey, B, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up to the SOS gang? What's up, everybody? We in here.
Man, yo,
What's
B.
going down?
Man, B. So I started back working out too, right? So I've been doing this Zumba. Just
Yeah,
kicking my butt. It's like, dang, I'm out of shape and I don't got rhythm. Man,
I ain't never tried Zumba. I always
it's
felt like that was
fun.
for like older white ladies.
Oh, it's fun. It's definitely fun. But yeah, it's like I'm like, cause right now, like I'm still trying to build myself back to the gym. So I'm just doing like little at home stuff. So I just pick a YouTube video and just show.
Yeah,
you know. But what makes Zumba kind of hard is like, like a like Richard Simmons or something. He'll actually say like, "All right, left leg up," right
yeah,
arm. Whereas like the Zumba people, they'll just sort of like, they'll put up, they'll be like, 4 reps this leg, but like they're not talking, they just pointing, and so you gotta look at their feet, you gotta look at their hips. You're like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but yeah,
No, yeah. I never tried it before. I ain't never. There's like a lot. I don't see when I go. I don't know. I'm a let's say lightweight when it comes to gym stuff. So I don't be doing the classes or nothing. What I'll do, my routine is I'll go, I'll hit the elliptical for like 15, 20 minutes.
that's
Then
good though.
then I'll hop off that. Um and then I'll do some of the machines like tricep, bicep, um what was it lateral pull, stuff like that. And then I'll finish off with like like somewhere around like 5 minutes or so on a treadmill. And then
Mhm.
I try to see on the days that I go, I try to schedule it around what the pool hours are at the Y. And so what I'll do is like if the lap lane is open, I'll try to like get some laps in the pool and then
Oh,
chill out in the
hold
third
on,
pool.
bro. Wait a minute, bro. You gonna tell the world, oh man, I'm a lightweight at this gym stuff. But you hit the elliptical for 15, you do the weights,
Well, it's
and then you
not. I'm not.
swim, bro.
It's not really lifting. I do like the compound machines and stuff. I'm not really like
Right. I
lifting
mean, I know. I
dumbbells
mean,
and
to
stuff.
me, oh well, yeah, like I mean, they're not free weights, but still, it's like, yeah, you're still doing some sort of strength training. And like I said, then you finish it off with a swim. Like, bruh, swimming is
I
like
try to that that them old like so when I go, I usually schedule it around like the they have like this thing at the Y called the therapy pool. So it's not a hot tub, but it's warm water, and they got jets in there. It's supposed to like help relax your muscles and everything.
okay,
And man, them old people, boy,
basically
they
chilling
be
in there.
they be getting them spots. Like, and it's the same with the lap lane. So that's why, like, so for instance, I went last Friday and I hadn't been in almost over a month because, like, when I got sick and everything, I had like stopped going and
Yeah.
but it's been actually I think maybe almost 2 months since I've been. And man, them all every lane in the lap lane was full. Like I just had to chill in the therapy pool till the session was over because I kept waiting for somebody to get out and they did not get out.
So,
Them old
so like
folks
when you
be in there.
so when you say lap lane, it's like
It's like a regular pool and they got the lanes and then yeah, you can do laps up and down in there.
oh, okay, but like if it's occupied, obviously you can't share the same lane.
I
Okay.
think technically you can share with at least one other person. I just don't like to. That's just a me thing. Like
Okay.
I don't like having to judge where I'm at in the lane. Like if I'm
Oh,
swimming
okay.
in the lane, like I want to be able to, spread out and swim.
So like
You know what I mean?
you be doing like the Olympic shit, you be diving in and be like,
Nah, I can't. I never could dive. I'll do like freestyle up and back twice. What? Uh,
Now, when you say freestyle, is that just like
yeah, yeah.
okay?
And then I, I don't know why I do it, but every once in a while I'll attempt to do the breaststroke.
That's
But did yeah,
okay.
and then
Thank goodness for visual.
um and then what was it? And then I'll try to go on my back for a little bit too, but I'll mainly just be doing the freestyle
I
stuff.
I never really uh mastered like the backstrokes. Like I mean, like I can, but I ain't been in nobody's pool in forever. So well, actually, Dad told me about this. I don't know if it's still a thing for y'all up there, but well, I guess like when you graduated high school, like did you have to know how to swim before you graduated high school? Because I know Dad said that was a thing up there.
Nah, that
Okay.
might be, and even then, that might be a public school thing. Like I remember the middle school in my district that I live at, was called Linton. I remember a lot of my friends who went to the public school like said that they had to have mandatory swim classes, because I remember
Okay.
they always used to complain. Apparently, the pool up there was just nasty. Like I heard it was just foul, and I'm like, man, thank
The chlorine
God.
couldn't save it.
One of the many perks of private school, I guess. We they didn't have the funds to have no pool or nothing, so we was not
Okay.
swimming in middle school and high school and everything like that. Like I think ours, I think my high school had a swim team. I just don't know where they did their meets at. Like because we didn't have a pool.
Okay. Well, I know. Yeah. Well, both the middle school I went to and the high school I went to, like we didn't have our own pool. I think they had to like go to like a public spot or something to
Yeah.
practice and stuff like that. So, but okay, yeah, like but like I said, like with the backstrokes, it's like I can get like maybe a couple of feet, but then I'm just sinking. But I don't know, like I was never a swimmer. It's like I'd be proud of myself. Like if let's just say be like if I'm in the 8 foot side, I'm staying close to the border just in case.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Nah,
even
that
though I'm
was
like
like,
6'1", but you know.
yeah. We swam every like all throughout the summer. Like I remember like at summer camp and stuff when we went, like the actual cool part of the pool was like where the 12 feet was. So
Oh
like
hell no.
yeah, so like I remember when I first went there when I was 8, I couldn't pass the deep water test. Like I was like drowning, but like I think I got it the next year, and then I've been cool ever since. Like, but that was something my mom like really stressed on us, like all three of us growing up. Like she, like as soon as we was big enough, we was it. Like she signed us up for swim classes.
Swim lessons. I
Yeah,
mean, it is a valuable, it's like it was a valuable survival
right.
skill, like, because, just in case, I mean, you might end up in some water. You might get.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
but I'm glad she signed us up for classes and not did the classic parent thing of just throwing your kid
just
in the
pushing
pool
you
and
in.
hoping they, yeah, hoping. Actually, no, you know what? Now I think about it, I think I have like a early memory. I think of either preschool or kindergarten. I think it was preschool. I think that actually did happen to me. I think one of the preschool teachers did that. Like they threw me like in the pool.
See, like, I couldn't do that with I couldn't do that to a kid that's not related to me.
Yeah, I think
I
like
feel some kind of way.
I think like if I'm remembering correct, this I mean, how often do you really remember preschool stuff? But
Right.
it, I think I've seen pictures from around that time. I think when they took us to the pool, they gave us them like those little bubble things. So it wasn't like a life jacket. It was just like in the shape of like almost like a football, but it was blown up. It was like a flotation device, and you had to snap it, snapped in the front, went on your back, and yeah, it would like keep you afloat in the water.
Oh, okay. So y'all had those like in preschool?
I'm pretty sure because I remember seeing pictures from around that time. So I'm thinking and kind of hoping that like when that when that memory happened, I'm like pretty sure that I had that on when that lady threw me in. But it's still messed up. You shouldn't be throwing kids in the water, period. But
Yeah, yeah. Because like I said, it's like now if it's my own child or like a little cousin or something,
yeah,
I might do it because I know I'm gonna go in and like
right,
save them if they need it. But yeah, no, like someone that's just not my child, not related to me, I'd be like, okay, Jimmy, just sit in the bleachers,
right,
drink your chalky milk.
yeah, yeah. No, that yeah,
uh,
that's. I remember. I think one of the like CITs at the summer camp, when I was still a camper there, I think he had got fired because he tackled a kid into the pool. Like,
oh,
yeah, it's
well, I
nah,
mean, but people, well, I don't know. I know that kind of roughhousing is like normal around pool settings, even though you're not supposed to because it's
right,
unsafe.
right.
But.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. I have like mixed feelings about people truly mess around. Like, I've at some, I almost drowned in the pool when I was a kid. So like, I know how fast something could turn left.
Yeah.
But in my case, the person actually tried to drown me. So
What the hell?
yeah, I was like, I think I was like 6 or 7,
Oh, was it like
and
a peer of yours? I guess another 6-year-old.
not
Hopefully.
well. Yeah, he was around my age, but he wasn't my
Okay.
friend. It was what is it? It's crazy. I was just saying you can barely remember stuff from back then, but this, because of how traumatic it was, I remember this well. Like, like
Oh yeah.
we was
The
at
traumatic shit you're gonna remember. Yeah.
a cookout for my mom's friend, and it was like his family, and we had went to this local park, and they have a pool, they have a public pool there, and we were swimming in there, and I think these was like his nieces and nephews or something like that. And I kind of knew the one, but I didn't really know them like that. So when I was in the pool, like I tried to play with them or whatever, and they didn't really know me like that anyway. So then I kind of just went off and did my own thing, it was whatever. Uh, and I heard them whispering about me, like, but yeah, I just went and tried to pretend I couldn't hear it and went played by myself. And I think my mom had turned her head to talk to somebody, and the next words I hear were "Let's drown them," and
Oh
I
no.
feel somebody jump on my back, and I go under, and I'm just flailing, and somebody's sitting on my back, and I remember like the water being blue, like I didn't full on pass out, but I almost got there, like
Oh
right,
wow. You was really close.
yeah, like right as things was getting really dark. Like the last thing I remember was essentially the blue light getting darker. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like I was almost out, and next thing I hear, I'm the weight on my back is gone. I'm being lifted up, and I'm hearing my mom scream, just bloody murder. And and I'm being like, I'm coughing, and I'm able to limp my way out the pool and everything. And my mom's screaming at everybody. She's screaming at the kids. She's screaming at the adults. She screamed at her friend. Like, like it was crazy. And so, you know, and here from her perspective, when she turned around, one minute I was in the water and one minute I wasn't. And she said the kid just kind of looked over at her and smiled. And she would and all the kids were sitting there trying to like kind of laughing with each other. And she said that, she didn't know what was going on because like she didn't see me. And eventually I think she said she saw one of my feet kick up from the water. And that's how she knew I was under the water and I didn't get out. Because she said like she just truly couldn't find me. And yeah. If it had gone a little bit longer, I wouldn't be here right now.
So those kids were fucking sick. Well, that's what.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ! Like, wow, bro. That's
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I hope they got a whooping every day for like a week for that. I mean,
yeah.
dude,
I
oh
seen the kid once more when we was older. I didn't remember him at the time. My mom reminded me while we was there, and I don't know if he remembered me either. I like, we was little when that happened, but like
right, yeah,
it's crazy though. I always remember like the feeling, like like
yeah. You don't forget that.
yeah.
Like,
Like I said,
God,
like I like I remember the light getting darker. Like I remember that feeling of like as a kid you don't really you have any real concept of death, but like
right.
I remember feeling like this is really bad. Like I was screaming under the water, like.
Oh, so damn. So it's like the water was probably did the water get in your lungs at all?
Not from what I remember. No, I don't. Like I didn't have to go to the hospital. I think my mom gave me my albuterol, like my asthma medication, and she put me to bed and everything. Like when we got home, like I don't remember ever having to go to the hospital for that, but I do remember
Okay.
like it was like yeah, it was bad. Like and yeah, like I said, like I didn't fight with the kid, nothing. Like last thing, like like they didn't really want to play with me, but I was, just kind of like ignored
Yeah,
it.
doing your own
Like
thing.
I said, the last thing I heard before I went under was "Let's drown him," and felt and felt him jump on my back.
Dang,
Crazy.
I know, right? Like even if you mind your own business, sometimes you just get damned, right?
Yeah,
but well, B, let's. Well, so I wanted to hit on, this is the last week of Black History Month, and I don't
yeah,
think I mean, we had so many guests. I don't think we was able to truly focus on it, but I mean, we got to go out with a bang on it. Like,
yeah,
obviously, the most Black History thing that ever happened. Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl, being able to tell Trump to go fuck himself, basically.
right.
What else? What other positive things? Well, I know they attempted to erase the Tuskegee Airmen from the Air Force curriculum, but they
Yeah,
fought
it
for it
got
back.
brought back like the next week.
Yeah, because it's like, what the fuck? Like, they're very important.
Right.
It's like, what else? I believe Donald Trump. I'm sorry, our Lord and Savior, President Donald Trump. I guess did he like. Well, they called them like American heroes, but it was all like black figures or something like that. He's supposed to be having like
Yeah,
some
he
weird
had like
class.
some whack Black History Month thing at the White House, and
I
he
know
had
Tiger
like
was there.
what?
I think Tiger Woods was there.
Yeah,
I
Tiger
don't
Woods, Kodak Black,
Kodak.
was like, as somebody smarter than me pointed out on Twitter, that is the perfect encapsulation of what they think of us. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you're like, in terms of your like Black History thing, you invited Kodak Black. Like,
Yeah, wasn't I might be misremembering, but didn't Kodak like catch a pardon from Trump or something? Like, did he
yeah,
have federal charges? Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
of course we're gonna be there.
yeah. Let's see who else was there. Boys to Men was there. I know.
Man, they need to check that bad.
I was disappointed by that as well. I'm like, good lord, like
Hey man, first Snoop, now Boys to Men.
I know. I was like
No,
at the like all them holidays specials on TV that y'all be singing at. Y'all ain't got no money. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, damn, bro, y'all got gambling debts or something? Like, what's going on?
like
What are
that's
y'all?
crazy. But of course, some of the most prolific shucker drivers was there, including Trump's long lost black son, Terrence K. Williams.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, I forgot he even existed, but I seen a
Right.
group photo of all like these big black like people at Trump's thing, and he was there, and I'm like, hey, yo, like. Also in
Dang, man.
attendance was, I don't know if y'all seen the video, but there was a very delusional black Trump supporter dude who filmed himself on an airplane with a Donald
Hmm.
Trump shirt, and he was like making this little goofy faces at all the people who walked by. I guess he was fishing for somebody to like cause a reaction,
Yeah,
but most people just kind of
just
walked
didn't give
around
a
him.
fuck.
Yeah, like nobody cared. And yeah, he got the attention he ordered because he was there too.
Oh, who was there?
That guy from that video.
Okay, okay, yeah. There was like another I keep forgetting his name, but he's like this gay black conservative dude, and he tried to come on talking about, the Kendrick Lamar show was whack, okay? And yes, I did understand the political messaging. I'm like,
Well, it wasn't Christian Walker, was it?
no, it wasn't Christian Walker. You know what? There was I think he was on a Jubilee episode of, I think, like conservative men talking to liberal men or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was surprisingly reasonable on there. I thought he was gonna just say stupid shit the whole time, but he was surprisingly like, kind of reasonable. But I guess another positive black history thing. I mean, we're gonna go back to the Super Bowl. I mean, the two starting QBs, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. There were two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Okay, so
Wow.
get your
Okay. Okay.
motherfucking.
You just want to get a pass off to anybody, huh? Huh? You just think
He
anybody
had
can
to
be
play.
black?
I mean, I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, Brandon, but I mean, I'm sorry, B, but yeah, I follow that one drop rule religiously. I'm like, what? Black father? All right. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over this whole like conversation about like who and who is black, like, or who's allowed to call themselves black. Like, I, it'd be different if somebody was like 164th black and tried to get like a
Right. Yeah.
scholarship,
Yeah.
like, but y'all going after half and quarter black people, like, they may not be all the way black, but they're still black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't know. And then like they be one. I was seeing this big debate on like why we can consider J. Cole black and not like Drake, because they were saying Drake isn't down with the culture, or he's not culturally black, and J. Cole is, or something. And I'm just like, all right, bro. Like,
I
this is
mean,
so stupid. Like, it's such a dumb
but
argument, because
also
then
too, it's like,
when you go by that argument, why do y'all then call Logic a white boy? Like, because I was seeing that, because in that same discourse, people was talking about Logic. I'm like, okay, well, if y'all want to go by the culture argument, who's more with the culture than Logic? Like, Logic,
right.
like, came from the streets of Baltimore, like, studied hip
He,
hop essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, like has been co-signed by other great hip hop artists. Like, what is
mhm.
this, like, this whole, oh, you got to be down with the culture to be considered black, is just stupid. Like, it's a really dumb argument. And I know this joke is used a lot on social media, but every time I see it, I always think about the joke where people be like, the CIA won, because this is exactly like, that's what I be thinking. I'm like, oh, CIA got another victim. Like, this is us.
But yeah, man, it's just yeah, I don't do that weird shit. And it's also too, I mean, and plus, B, you also, you got a bachelor's degree like myself, aka, a normal person now. But yeah, like we both understand sociologically, at least in America, your race is based on perception.
Right,
So you can look at Drake and tell it's a black, you're looking at a black person. You can look
right.
at J. Cole and tell you're looking at a black person. I mean, now Logic, I mean, yeah, he passes. So I can
Yeah.
understand people calling him white boy. I mean, I wouldn't do it disparagingly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But even with Logic though, and it just could be, it could be because of like the people I've grown up with and everything. Logic, even though he is white passing, I agree with that 100%. It's hard for me to look at him and be like tricked into thinking he's white because he's still like, I don't know. There's some white passing biracial people that when I look at them, I just be like, that's a black person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Like,
I
like, is it like from hindsight or like you can just tell like just from first look? I'm just asking
it might
your
be a bit of
experience.
both
Okay.
sometimes. Like, it's a bit of both. It's like it's the way their skin looks. Like when you really look at them, like you could tell like the the pigment trying to fight its way out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When you like I said, there's some who can really blend into a crowd. Like I said, I've been stumped before. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there are others where, let's say, if you put them, stand them next to an actual white person, I could tell the difference between like the biracial and the white guy. Like, you know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
I was just saying cause Cameron Boyce, peace be upon him, like
Well, like I said,
everything I
that's an
see on
example of
him,
me
like
being stumped because
this
I
is
truly,
hindsight. Yeah, like
yeah, I didn't see
everything is
that at all.
hindsight on him. It's like I said, when I saw the picture of him and his father, I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Yeah, yeah, that one was the one that stumped me for real. Like I said,
and
there was a girl
also
who,
the lady from the L Word,
oh yeah, her too.
Jennifer
Yeah,
Beals. Yeah, like I was stoned. I thought I didn't know what the fuck she. I'm sorry, like I didn't know what she was, like
you're right. No,
so
no, no, I get you. And there was, like I said, there was a girl up at my college who was like that. Like until I heard her give a speech about how people don't consider her black, and she showed a picture of her father, I was like, "Whoa!" Like
oh
I was
wow. I bet the whole room was just like, oh.
well, apparently, I hadn't been around a lot, but apparently, most people already knew it was me who
Oh,
didn't know.
okay.
Like I was like, "What is going on here?" Like,
Okay.
but yeah, no, like I said, I've been stumped before, but most of the time, I can usually tell.
Yeah, and yeah, I have a coworker who's like Panamanian,
Yeah.
but she has a black dad, but it's like she looks more like just your typical Hispanic lady.
Hmm.
But yeah, but she has a black father, yeah. And I was like, I would have never guessed that.
Right.
you know.
Right.
And I joked with her. I was like, so that means you can say that funny word that starts with an N. She was like, no, I think I'll still get checked for that. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's an entirely social media construct, this conversation too, but like I don't know. It's to the point where it's like tiring that people keep bringing it up every couple
oh
months, and
yeah,
it's
it's
just
like
like,
I just scroll
and,
past it.
and when I see it happen, I'm just like, okay, what is the end goal of this debate? Like, what do you want to
Right,
happen?
because
Because like at the end of the day, essentially, and I've seen people try to say this is a corny thing to say, but I don't care. All you're really doing is kicking more people out the race. Like, so now what? So you
I mean,
divided the race now. Now what? Like
I
what's
wouldn't
part
even
two of this plan?
I wouldn't even say that. I just it's just like some of these posts, like well, kind of like the double standard that minorities can have sometimes, which it's more
Hmm.
understandable when black people do it. But still, it's like I be seeing that one post that shows like the black grandfather, black grandmother, they have their kid,
Yeah.
and their kid meets another black woman, they're happy. Then all of a sudden, their kid meets a white woman, they're like,
Right.
"Brr." And I'm just like, y'all niggas sound like Nazis, bro.
Bruh, I
Like
be
weirdo
saying the
white people be
same
saying
thing.
the
Like
same thing.
when like I started getting worried about this a couple years ago when I was seeing people unironically say, I can't believe you destroyed your bloodline like this. And I'm
I'm
just
like,
like, bruh, like,
you
yeah,
sound like Adolf
yeah,
Hitler.
like you sound like them Germans. Like, this
I'm
is
like,
crazy.
do you
Like,
do you have a SS tattoo somewhere on your body? I need to see
yeah,
it.
like
Like,
you
what
might
the
as well
fuck?
just shave your hair and call yourself a skinhead. Like, y'all, like, and people really be talking like this now and don't see it don't compute like what they're saying. It is crazy. Like I just
Yeah.
you know I along that similar vein, I think another thing that kind of makes me upset too. Those same type of people, I'll see them post something stupid like, "Oh, the worst thing that happened to the black community was integration," and I'll be like, "Oh,
Oh my
brother,
goodness.
like, I
You
did,
mean
like,
it wasn't slavery or lynchings or anything? It was integration.
yeah, it
God
was,
damn.
yeah, integration. Oh man, how dare
It
we
wasn't integration. It was redlining and shit.
black
You stupid
black people
motherfucker.
had a real community under segregation, then they and it was destroyed by
That's
integration. I'm like,
that's what
oh god,
that's what dumb fuck black conservatives say. Like they be like, "Oh well, shit. I mean, yeah. I mean, we was getting our asses whooped and getting hung left and right. But you know what? The father was in the house and black families went to church. So and you be like, shut the fuck up, boomer. And you just gotta go on about your day. But it's like,
the Venn diagram of like black conservative and like Hotep type dudes is like so crazy, like because there's stuff that like, there's similarities that they believe is, and like it's so wild, and it also really goes to show you how far a lot of younger generations are removed from people who experienced the civil rights movement, because like anybody who even has like the tiniest connection to that, you would know what a crazy thing to say. Like that's a crazy thing to say. Like,
I
you
mean,
know,
like, I would the fact that they would probably even have the nuts to like be around Jesse Jackson or something and say that bullshit. They'd be like really? Like, so
and it also goes to like, how sanitized history has become, because like in their minds they think of segregation as like, oh, I couldn't get a hamburger here and they told me to leave.
right.
Like that's not what segregation was. Segregation was the fact that the white kids went to regular schools and black kids were
Went to
huddled
fucked
in,
up ones, yeah.
yeah, huddled in rooms packed with like 30 kids all sharing dilapidated textbooks and stuff, while being told by their government that they're separate but equal. It's that type of stuff. Like, it's
Yeah.
the fact that black people had to pass a test to
To
even
vote.
register to vote. Like, you know
Right.
what I mean? Not even
Yeah, a
that.
fucking test that white people would not have passed either, by the way.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? It's black folks not being able to move to certain better neighborhoods to get better opportunities, or the neighborhoods that they were already living in being redlined and deemed as blights on the city and taken from them. Like,
Right.
in order to
Yeah,
build other
and
stuff. Like,
thank you for that, B, because like, and I get it, like, and I'm all for pulling money for your community. Yeah, obviously, but you know they forget what happened to Black Wall Street. It's like,
right,
yeah, like niggas was minding their own business, and one day hating ass white people was tired of seeing rich black folks, and
exactly.
yeah, they fucking killed them. Like, it's I don't
Or
know.
like when they'll be like, oh, like the black community was more cohesive, but like that's because they had to be, because they
Yeah,
weren't allowed to branch out anywhere else. Like, it's not like you're assuming that is like that assumption is based on the fact that you think that they had those opportunities and chose to stay together amongst each other. Now, do I
right,
wish that people made that choice, or more often? Yes, I do. But you're assuming that that choice was a choice. It was not a choice. They had to create
right,
their own
and
stuff because they had no other where else to go. And even then,
mhm,
the white government still had the power to take that stuff away from them.
right, and, and I'm citing a fictional story, but you know, um, Viola Davis's character from Fences. She hit it right on the head. It's like, well, look, I mean, I was shopping there, but hell, I go to the white store. There's like 50 cents less, so
Right.
I'm being frugal. You mad at me for being frugal? And again, and like you said, it was because these white businesses had much more time to build and establish and like
Right.
be able to sell stuff marked down. So yeah,
Yeah, man. I don't know when yeah, the fact like because I bring up them type of posts because I seen a post like that today and it ticked me off. Like I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
like,
I mean, kind of
but
like what you were talking about last week. These the black capitalists, you know what I mean? Like, cause yeah, like you got these black men who they think, which I mean, sometimes it is available to them, but they're like, oh well, if I just play like this white patriarch game, you
mhm,
know what I'm saying, I'll make it too. But it's like, I mean, not necessarily,
right,
but
right. No, yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Yeah, like I said, like to me, like it's not just because like I have a connection with history, but like it's more so to me. It's just like such a disgusting way to devalue those
right.
sacrifices of our ancestors to just straight up be like, man, they was tripping. I don't know why they did all that. Like, what you mean? Why?
Right.
Like
I
the
mean,
fact that you're even sitting in a position of privilege to even be able to
right.
write something like that lets you further know just how far we came because of their fight for integration. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and it's crazy because part of my regimen is on Sundays I just go for like a hour walk or something like that.
Hmm.
And I was thinking too, I was like, wow, like the fact that I can calmly walk
Hmm.
around Cobb County, Georgia,
Right.
without that paranoia of like, oh shit, let me make sure I don't look no white man in the eye and piss him off, or even worse,
Right.
just not having that paranoia of getting lynched.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No, no, I
that's
get you.
yeah, like we take that for granted, and I just realized that I was like, dang, I really take this for granted.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll say the same thing when I'll hear like I don't hear it much anymore, but I remember even back when I was in high school, hearing like crazy stuff like, "Oh, Martin Luther King was a coon" or something like that, like for like some of the stuff he did, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Like
Yeah,
I
and it's
can't
like,
imagine.
and and it's crazy too. It's like them same niggas. You can tell they did not finish reading Malcolm's autobiography because he ended up realizing, oh shit, anybody can be fucking Muslim. What the fuck? Well, he just
Well,
goddamn like,
well, that
so
that and I think the thing that really ticks me off when it comes to a lot of like the interpretations of Malcolm, not even just with the whole uh like like quote unquote anti-white type stuff. I think what really ticks me off is like a lot of people try to use him as a justification of them like crashing out, like not just on white folks, but just within regular society in general. And they'll try to use Malcolm as like a justification for that. Like I remember hearing that a lot when I was in college. And I'm just like, that's not what he called for. Like he
right,
was talking
yeah,
about self defense. Like there's a difference between self defense and you just walking around acting crazy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, now if a white dude come in your face and start like trying to throw hands with you, then yeah,
right.
obviously, you know, let's get it
Well,
cracking.
like
But
you
like,
know, because even Gandhi, I mean, I guess peace and piss be upon him because I know how he feels about black people. That son of a bitch. But but yeah, even he was just like, hey, listen, now, I mean, I'm all for nonviolent protest, but I mean, obviously, if you get, so even Gandhi believed in like swinging back sometimes. So
right,
Uh, but yeah, no, it's yeah, I do feel like they kind of like some people do sort of like misrepresent,
Right,
certain figures, and like you said, like people calling MLK a coon, it's like so they fell for that. Like you said, they fell for the sanitization of his name too because
right,
he was the least popular motherfucker when he was alive. Nobody liked him.
right,
Mainstream society didn't like him. They called him an agitator, a race baiter,
right,
all that shit. The same stupid ass arguments that we hear today. But also
right,
too, like this man was communist. Like he was going after,
right.
our capitalist system as well. So
Yeah, especially
I
after he
don't know.
visited.
It's like
Was it
a lot
like?
of people.
I think it was like after he visited Detroit, he really took like because like he started the Poor People's Campaign and everything like that. Like I think like it was after Detroit he really took his communist like stuff to do heights and everything. Like yeah, I
Right.
don't know. Like I said, it's like
I mean, 'cause I know some historians, cite that, for his assassination. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard that before. Yeah,
which I am wondering, I guess since our Lord and Savior President Donald Trump, didn't he like declassify
well, he said he
assassination
was. I
or
don't know if he actually did. And even then, every
okay,
time, and this is not just a Trump thing. This is a government thing in general. Every time the government says they're declassifying something, I always take that with a grain of salt because I'm like, well, we don't know what that original document looked like anyway. So like, you could have just been giving us
right?
the cover sheet, and there's 30 more pages. Like like we don't know what the documents look like.
I mean, but I guess another funny thing about it too is just like, it's like for years and years and years. No, we didn't. All right, bro. Yes, we did. What the fuck y'all gonna do about it anyway? It's
Right,
like, I feel like I feel like that's what like the declassifications are. It's like deny, deny, deny. Whatever. Enough time
right,
passed. Fuck y'all gonna do about it anyway? Nothing. Like,
yeah. So two politicians left from that are
right.
like 1 foot in the ground, like they're about to die. Like,
Yeah, like they got like the equivalent of like 1 HP left.
yeah, yeah,
But granted, this happened like what last year, but we still celebrating. The stupid white cunt who snitched on Emmett Till, lied on him. Matter of
yeah.
fact, her perishing was just great. And I found out, you know, shout out to the brother. I found out the hero who shot Ashley Babbitt was a black person. So
Oh, was
score
it? I
one
didn't even
for
know
us.
that.
Well, I just heard about it. I don't know how true it is, but if it is true, that just makes her death so much sweeter. Ugh.
Yeah,
I'm
because the
just
only
kidding. I mean,
black guy
she
I
was a
remember,
victim herself, but
the only black guy I remember from that was like the guy who led them up the back stairway. Like I heard about
oh
him.
yeah,
I
I
didn't.
heard. Yeah, he got promoted too
Yeah,
for his heroism.
yeah,
Uh, and that's the well, it's crazy. I saw a post that says, when people or trolls or racist white people, whatever, when they say DEI, make them say the full word. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
yeah.
the full word again? Oh, wow, you're against that? That's interesting. Cause ain't no way a motherfucking what? Who was that man? He was a general or something who got let go from one of those positions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who took over for him? Was it like Pete Hegseth?
Somebody. No, I don't think he was replaced by Hicks. Well, he could have been. Let me see. Defense. Okay. Let me see. Black. Who was that? Black general
I don't know. That
let
DEI
go.
conversation is so insanely stupid too. Like, so many people, like mainly white folks, who just out there assuming that any old black dude off the street could just walk in and just get a job anywhere.
Right.
Like that's not how that worked. What it was making sure that companies were looking at diverse candidates with this with the right qualifications,
Right.
and not just the white male ones. Like that's it. You still
Yeah.
had the same level of training, the same level of schooling. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, hey, while y'all looking at all these white guys, here's a black one y'all should probably be looking at too. That's what DEI is.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
because because white people been doing DEI forever. Like, so.
yeah, yeah, their version of DEI is literally what them old timey white businessmen was doing. They was, instead of hiring and looking at applications of qualified candidates, they was getting their nephew Jerry,
Hmm.
who
Hmm.
dropped out of community college and was slinging pizzas. Now he's the CFO. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that was
I
DEI
mean,
under their definition.
or even today, like this white South African immigrant is all up in this White House, like no
Right.
political background whatsoever.
Giving
Like,
full on press conferences
what the fuck are you doing in the Oval Office,
a-
bro?
at the Oval Office,
Not even the sworn politician,
giving
nothing.
speeches to the cabinet. Like, it's crazy.
D
He
that
is not a government employee at
I mean, that's
all.
DI like a motherfucker. You got this African American of it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Y'all only care about
But
African Americans when we look like us. Meanwhile, y'all got a whole South African in there wrecking havoc in the government, accessing people's personal
Havoc.
information, firing folks left and right. You want to talk about DEI, talk about the fact that we got a chick who runs our intelligence community, fired a bunch of intelligence agents today, my bad.
You talking about Tulsi?
Meanwhile, she is a known security risk. like,
You talking about
like,
Tulsi Gabbard?
yeah, like
Oh yeah, she's
she's
totally
a known
bedfellows with
security risk,
Putin.
and she's part of a cult. So, take that as you will. But like, but yet she's out here firing folks left and right. Meanwhile, you
Yeah,
got
that's.
people like my mother who has a government position, worried, literally worried every day
I
that
was just
she's
about to ask if it was federal too. So
yeah, yeah, she's been
yeah,
worried practically every day that she gonna get the Elon Musk fire email. My mother has a master's degree in chemical engineering, worked her entire life in that field. You know what I'm saying? And now she's worried about keeping a job that she only really took to try to help her survive after retirement. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, and now she's worried about losing that job,
yeah. Because
a job that she technically was overqualified for anyway. Like, you know, meanwhile, like, all just
and
so some
and
man who's
does she
never
get Medicaid or anything like that or
not Medicaid. I
Medicare?
think she's I might have well, actually, no. I mean, I think she technically now has health insurance from the government, like, because she has that government position. Because, like, that's the main reason why people used to try to get government jobs in the first place, was because of the benefits. Like,
Yeah,
but and so, like, yeah, she has those benefits from that. You know what I'm saying? But, like, still, like, she worked, multiple jobs to help put herself through college because my grandma didn't always have the money. And, now imagine she loses a job that she was already overqualified for because a man who's never had to work a day in his life bought himself a seat in the White House.
wow. And the
And
thing is like the conservatives who are smart enough to know it's bullshit, they don't care.
right.
Because they're just
Because they'll
evil
be
like that.
because they're gonna be all right. They don't
Yeah,
care.
like They just out for themselves. Like, I mean, I ain't even gonna say evil. It's like, I mean, everyone has an agenda. Everyone. Well,
Right.
everybody is agenda driven. Everyone has their own self interest, and that's all they care
Mm-hmm.
about. And you know what? This Republican congressman in Georgia, actually in Roswell, but his town hall, they were giving his ass the business. I
Yeah.
think his name was like McCormick. Hold on.
But more people need to start doing that though. Like, because like more of these people, because I saw a post the other day where somebody was talking about how empty their town hall is, and they said they were horrified to hear the stuff that was being proposed without any like pushback. And I think more people need to start holding these local governments accountable because that's how it starts. Start from the bottom, going to the top. You need to make
Mhm.
your voice heard that you hate this stuff. Now, unfortunately, we have a person in the White House and most of the people in his cabinet that don't really care about other people's opinions. But I'd imagine a lot of people in Congress do because they want to get
Yeah.
reelected. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, them is the ones we really got to start putting some heat on. You know.
Yeah. That's
Speaking of politics and people being mad about black people, have you seen Captain America 4 yet?
I have not, but I've heard mixed reviews.
Yeah, if I
But
can give my non-spoiler take on it, I thought the movie was good. Let me just get that out the way. I thought the movie was good.
I mean, and I heard that too. Like most of the people who've seen it, they say like it's alright. It just wasn't like phenomenal,
Yeah,
but
it
like
wasn't
it wasn't bad.
spectacular. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But this is how I'll guess I'll relate it back to our race discussion. Well, it was always going to relate to that because Andy
yeah,
Mackie's a black man. But
right.
but I was talking about this with my white friend the other day. He hadn't seen the movie either, but I was trying to tell him like my thoughts on it. So I thought the movie was good. I enjoyed most of the movie, but there were parts that I didn't like or they didn't work for me. However, I was very discouraged to see even before the movie came out, the critics just review bombing it and saying this is the worst
Oh
thing of all
yeah,
time and all these
and of
two
course all the
hour
grifters
long
coming out. Yep.
and all these 2 hour long videos on YouTube of people talking about
Mhm.
this is a failure and this is disgustingly bad. And then to go see the movie and find out that while it wasn't perfect, it was far from being bad or terrible or shockingly horrific, and it makes me think about like being a black man in this country or just a black person in general. I think we've all heard the phrase from our parents and everything. We got to work
Gotta be twice as good.
twice as hard for half the credit, or you got to be twice as good for half the credit. Somewhere along those lines, any variation of that speech we've heard. And that is exactly what I feel like happened here. While that movie wasn't great, it was already judged unfairly because a black man stepped up into the mantle of Captain America. And I know
Oh
everybody got all this other stuff. Oh, it's because there was an Israeli chick or whatever. Oh, it's because
wait,
he said that.
who's the Israeli character? Were they bringing? Was she that Israeli chick from the comics? Like,
Yeah, but
okay,
I'll touch on that after too. But
okay.
it was the Israeli character that messed it up. Oh, it was because he said what he said about Captain America and not representing America or whatever, and all this other stuff. All that
Wouldn't Cap give him the shield?
all that other stuff is just noise. Because at the end of the day, the metric, the metric of judgment for this movie, with most of white people and unfortunately some black people too who align to some of those beliefs, is if this movie a 100% the best movie I've ever seen, then it's a failure and we need to scrap the project. And
Mm.
we are always held to that standard, and it is so sickening, it's so discouraging, and it hurts every single time. And I just hope that Disney aren't complete cowards and do that to him where they start limiting his appearances and stuff like that.
I don't
I know they
I
won't
don't think
they ain't gonna fire
I
him.
don't,
I know
I
they
don't
ain't gonna.
think they're gonna make that same mistake again. And plus, this is Anthony Mackie because
No,
I
I
don't.
know. It's just that I've seen Disney do this before when fans get.
Yeah, to the Asian lady like
Well,
from the
yeah,
Star Wars.
the Asian lady from Star Wars. I mean, there've been other examples, and I kind of
I
just
know they
hope,
bullied the Menla Stenberg
right,
as
and I
well.
kind of just hope that like Disney has learned their lesson, but unfortunately, they are a publicly traded company, and they might, they're scared that they're gonna
Oh yeah,
lose customers and stuff
but
like that.
but the thing is, like I mean, I know they have a deep impact, but I mean, but the grifter verse, they're really just a loud minority. Like, I mean, it's a shame where like now, like before you even go to Rotten Tomatoes, like you got to post your Fandango account or something just so they can make sure you actually seen it first.
Right,
So, but yeah, I think they're just a loud minority of niggas because you saw them YouTubers who be having like 100 like what I'm saying, like back when Captain America, not Captain Marvel came out, like these niggas was talking about Brie Larson nonstop.
right.
You know what I mean? So,
Well, unfortunately, though, like was kind of what I was saying. Like, while the grifterverse is a very vocal minority, unfortunately, I don't think they were the only ones guilty of holding the movie to that standard. Though I think even if unconsciously, there was a lot of white people or others, but mainly white folks, who even if they didn't 100% hold the views of the whole grifter people, they had that unconscious bias when it came to the film. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, I don't know, it's hard, like, and people will bring up Black Panther as like the counterpoint to that argument. However, that's not really a good counter because
they were, but they were hating on that movie too before it came out.
no, I know, but
Yeah.
even still with Black Panther was a role that was already held by a black man. He didn't really have to step into anything. Whereas Captain America,
But
people's
but
unconscious bias when it comes to Captain
oh
America is a white guy. So when
yeah,
people
because they don't
found out
understand
that it
the
was a black man taking the mantle, that, like I said, even to the most like harmless white person, I think they even had an unconscious bias toward the movie where they was just like, oh, well, we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying they're all racist. Like, I would never say that. I'm just saying that there is a level of bias that I think
oh
is created there.
hold on, I'm trying to see something here. I'm trying to okay, hold on. This is a point I'm trying to make about the Sam Wilson character because he was already an established, character before, the movies came out. But let me see. I'm
No,
trying
I
to
know. I'm just saying, but it's different though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's different when it like those type of people. It's different for them. It They're cool with him being Falcon because he's second fiddle. But when it comes to Captain America, that's where they start to get uncomfortable and judging it
yeah,
unfairly and stuff.
because first of all, like, yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, and I know you know this already. I'm just saying this, like, just to show the audience how you know dishonest the Grifterverse are, or just I ain't gonna say dishonest, just unknowledgeable. Like, because Sam Wilson's been a Marvel character since 1969,
Yep.
and he was Captain America since 2014. And I'm
Yep.
talking about the comics. So
Yep.
the fact that they're gonna hate on him like this year about it proves two things. One, they're probably racist, or two, their only knowledge of Marvel is from the movies. Now, granted, yeah, most of my knowledge of Marvel is from the movies, but holy fuck, I at least like
Right.
I at least do some Google searching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Read the
Or
Wikipedia
like
page.
if I can get, a hold of my boy, Be Good 901, I'll ask him because he's the comic book guru to me. So
Right.
yeah, that's
And now the other negative thing that impacted the movie, while I think that a lot of people are hiding behind this as a crutch, I do think it had some bearing was with the whole Israeli character. So this ain't a spoiler. They've been talking about this. So they brought Sabra into the movie.
mhm.
And, I did question that decision when they first announced it. But I'll just say, and they even touched on this in some of the interviews too. They made so many changes to that character that I feel like most of the complaints now are just kind of pointless, bro. Like they like they they made so many changes to the character, and I think most of it now is just people just clutching at pearls. And even then, like I said, I think a lot of people too are using that argument of Sabra being in the movie as a cape to hide behind, so that they don't
Yeah,
have to admit that they just wanted the movie to
didn't
take
like
in
the
the
black
first place.
guy.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
'Cause-
But but
'cause if
to
it,
all the people
if
who
we're talking
were
about this,
actually
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say to all the people who were actually upset, I feel like I feel like you kind of have to pick your battles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And while you could argue against the comic book Sabra, like the actual Sabra in the comic books is ridiculous, like crazy. But
well, oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, but like, if you're mad about the character being in the movie, I'd argue just to go watch the movie in general. And I know
Mhm.
too that they were saying that the actress did propaganda stuff for Israel. Guys, there's another thing too. I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about where it's like sometimes I feel like y'all just gotta take the L when it comes to like actors from Israel.
Yeah,
Like A, they got family that still lives over there. B, they're from there. Like,
I
you know
mean,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like you're gonna be a patriot to your own country.
Right. Now, the
Um,
only thing I would like, because like I'll be saying the same thing with Gal Gadot and stuff too. Like, and then a lot of people too will use the dislike of people like Gal Gadot and this chick who play like Sabra. They'll use their dislike of them and then go unceremoniously be like, oh well, they're bad actresses anyway. And like, you know,
they're not.
it is
Like,
so crazy to me how many people claim that they hated Gal Gadot's acting, and I'm just like, I saw some of you same people foaming out the mouth over Wonder Woman 1. Like, so now she's a bad actress. You know what I'm saying? She's bad now, not
right.
before when y'all was praising the ground she walked on. Now she's
Yeah.
a bad actress. Like, you know what I'm
I mean,
saying? I
yeah,
don't
because
know.
it's always the same shit with I wouldn't even call them fake leftists. I mean some leftists are just young and ignorant, but it's like, and they try to use, oh well, she served in our military. Yeah, because she had to, dipshit. But
Yeah, like, well, because they'll always bring up this thing, like, because I think technically there is a way that you can get out of the service in Israel. But
but I'm
from
pretty
what I
sure
had
it's hard.
heard, yeah, from what I had heard, that once you do that, you're essentially treated like a pariah in Israeli culture. Like, so it's kind of just like, why, you know what I mean? Like, also, you're assuming she knew she could do that. Also, like,
Right.
if it's just a regularly scheduled thing that you go from essentially high school to the service, why would she think about that path? You know what I mean?
Right.
If everybody else was doing it, then now, yeah, the only way I would truly be upset at her or the chick who plays Sabra or any other Israeli actor would be if they was still out here today going
Right.
like, rah rah, we need to kill Palestinians.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
you
gonna
know what I
say,
mean?
like,
Like,
I mean, 'cause I ain't never seen Gal Gadot or that other chick just say, "Yeah, Palestinians need to die" or anything like
right.
that.
I've never seen that. All when it came to the Gal Gadot thing, all I heard was she was like, "Oh, I'm worried about Israel and I'm sending love to my
Mhm.
loved ones." Duh, like,
Right, because they
like
were a victim of because the Israelis were a victim of a terror attack. So you know
right,
what I'm
like,
saying?
you know what I'm saying?
Innocent
Like,
people did die.
yeah,
So
like, you could argue whether like you could argue like the politics surrounding Israel. That's a whole
mhm.
nother conversation.
Right.
But when you talk about the specific event, whether you like to say it or not, it was technically a terrorist attack. That's like if we were talking about 9/11 and people started making like a broader point of how America was imperialist and like, you know, that's like, yeah, if you were having a 9/11 memorial and somebody came there and was like, well, we need to talk about the fact that America is imperialist and invaded
Mhm.
Afghanistan and stuff like that, or sent money to people to like take over Iraq and everything. I'm like, yeah, those are all valid points. Right now, we're talking about the specific
Yeah, we're
terror
mourning the
attack.
innocent. Like,
Like,
yeah, we're
like,
mourning innocent people who lost their lives. Like,
right, you know what I'm saying? Like, right now, we're talking about that. We're talking about this specific terror attack. We're not talking about the thing in like the broader sense. We're talking about this. Like,
and
so when Gal Gadot said that, like, obviously, I feel like, like, I don't know, that's just weird. Like, I don't know, that it's just weird.
and I was gonna say, like, the one little point I was gonna make about Sabra, granted, it was just a still. It was just one still from. So I haven't read the whole particular
Is it the Hulk
series.
thing?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, like, I mean, she got humanized in the comics too. Like, so there was a point in time in the comics where she was like, oh shit, well
Right.
maybe this ain't as black and
And
white as I
along
thought it
those lines,
was.
there's a bit of misinformation that I found out was getting spread. So I'm not really a big expert on like a lot of this like stuff surrounding like Palestine and Israel, but people were saying that the character was named after a massacre of Palestinians where a bunch of Palestinian kids got killed, and I think it's referred to as the Sabra incident. And apparently that's misinformation. Been going on all over social media. Apparently that's not true. Apparently the Sabra character was created before that incident, and the incident just happened to be called the Sabra massacre.
Uh,
So
I
that's
just
another
I
thing.
just
But
assumed she was named after the hummus.
yeah, but that's another bit of misinformation where people was using that as like a thing of trying to get people to not go see the movie. And here that wasn't, from what I found out, that wasn't real. Like the character
Hmm.
came before that.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing about misinformation. You know, it'll go around the world before the truth puts its shoes on.
Yeah.
Um, but shoot,
But what was that?
anything else?
Uh
No, I was gonna say you had anything.
no, I was gonna say that's a good place to end.
It was a good, little yeah, like it was a good little chill stream
yeah,
today.
yeah. Yeah, no, it was definitely. We had fun. We always have fun over here though. But hey, it was a great show. It was official sign off to Black History Month. Shout out to the ancestors. And also, just remember, everybody, just because Black History Month is ending doesn't mean Black History awareness has to end.
Black history is 24/7, 365.
Faux show. But if it's your first time here, please do not let it be your last. This is the SOS show. We do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank y'all so much for joining us. You got B over here, you got Tenzin over there. Brother Los couldn't be here today, but he is out there celebrating as well. Please watch old episodes of the show on the YouTube page. I think we still got some episodes on our IG as well. Please follow all the IGs and go hit up our brothers over at the What They Want podcast, because they should be up rocking right now. And remember, y'all, I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all, and I'm bleedy black,
And
and
I'm
I'm black,
blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. Yeah.
y'all. We
Power
out.
to the people.
We out.
Thank y'all.